Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Evoker. I think I've done this like 3 times because I did not record my audio like I think twice. I had an issue with my audio, so I fixed it. Apparently switching the mute button on your headset is not always the wisest idea. So besides that though, obviously guys, Evoker, let's talk through all the changes and let's cover what's going on. So because I've done this quite a few times, forgive me, I'm just going to be pointing out the highlights here because I've really done this a lot, like a lot. So we're going full highlight mode, quick notes kind of version for Evoker, and I do apologize. But Evoker is a class I haven't played a lot of. I've maxed one out, I've played it at Mythic Plus a little bit, and I played it in the normal raid. That's it, and I've only played DPS. So for the healers, I've dabbled a bit, but I'm not the best. But let's talk about it. So basically, big changes for Evoker. So they start now at level 10. Obviously, because of that, they have to change some spells, Mass Return, Fury of the Aspects, etc. There's been a bit of a rework there. In terms of Augmentation Evoker, so some big changes. One of the big ones is their new passive, Sense Power. This, while enabled, will allow you to see the major cooldown abilities of all of your allies. And this is something that you don't have to have on. It's toggleable. For some players, they won't like it. For others, they'll love it because, especially if you're pugging, this is something that's going to make your life way easier. So pugging with this, using it, everything, way easier because obviously it enables you to see cooldowns of abilities. And it's just something that's incredibly good and helpful, helpful overall. So yeah, really good stuff. On top of that as well, they've made some other small changes to augmentation, mainly to do with cohesion of the abilities. So just reduce essence cast, ability to auto cast things. For example, prescience has been updated. It will now smart target players who have major cooldowns active. Just more stuff that's in line with this. Same with motes of possibility. Now you have randomized buffs, but they are more easy to use. They float towards other players. Basically, the motes will spawn closer to the caster, and there's just more that you can do with it, which I think is good. And then they've done a couple of changes with Seismic Slam, talent point readjustments to free up some talent points, because obviously players are going to want to respend and rejig things just a little bit. So yeah, genuinely, augmentation probably seen just some really good solid changes for me. I think like really straightforward stuff. Devastation, so Devastation I think has had some solid changes as well. Again, more stuff to just bring it in line in terms of playstyle and balance out its playstyle and the difficulty of its playstyle. So one of the major things is the changes to Snapfire and to Feed the Flames. So Snapfire now casts Firestorm that does not trigger the cooldown and can trigger from Pyre. This is important because your casting of Firestorm is now super important, because casting Firestorm, if units are inside Firestorm, they will take 20% more damage from Pyre and Disintegrate, which are 2 of your big rotationary spells. Feed the Flames will now also auto-trigger cast another Firestorm after 9 Pyres, and then Imminent Destruction increases the damage of Disintegrate and Pyre after you land. So your goal really is to land, Firestorm, Pyre, Disintegrate, proc, Firestorm, Pyre, Disintegrate, proc, Firestorm, Pyre. So yeah, there's been some changes as well. Fire Breath threat reduced, Pyre threat reduced. This is just to kind of compensate for tanks that were really struggling with the momentum that Evokers could generate very early on in the fight, and this would just cause them to kind of get one shot cleaved and then not be, you lose a combat res, or just things wouldn't look very good. So yeah, other than that, pretty much just stock standard stuff. So keeping that kind of Pyre, Disintegrate rotation in mind, and obviously the manipulation of Firestorm becoming more important. Outside of that, everything else was pretty much straightforward. And pretty much as simple as can be. And then we have Preservation. So Preservation, like I said, I don't have, unfortunately, the most understanding of Preservation, but from what I understand, similar to Restoration Druid, Preservation has had some changes to just help with its burst healing. We see reversion healing now has a chance to grant you an instant cast of Living Flame, your main healing ability, and increasing its output. Essence Burst can also increase the effectiveness of your next Essence ability. Temporal Compression reduces the cast time, so more uptime on your abilities. Time of Need now triggers 30%, not 20%. This is just a straight flat buff, allowing it to proc more often. Dreamflight Healing by 100% outside the raid is a QOL, and then Emerald Blossom mana cost reduced by 15%. So there's not a huge amount of changes there for preservation. One of the big ones is this. Flow State now triggers from Empower spells cast from stasis, but Threads of Fate no longer triggers from Empower spells cast from stasis. This is just to help with buff management and maintaining and managing the level of buffs and how to incorporate them into your rotation without having it be negatively impacted to the rest. Then we have Reversion's Tooltip being updated. That's just a QOL. And then they've had to change the talent sets overall because of the changes to the Evoker classes. For me, all in all, Evoker, just as a class, just as everything, looks very, very solid. And honestly speaking, the changes and everything for me have been really good. So I'm more than happy with the changes that have happened. I'm more than happy with what they've done. I think they've reworked it to look good, function good, and feel good. And I think ultimately that's what everyone wants when it comes down to it. So definitely 100% keep an eye out for Evoker. I think they've made it more accessible for players to learn and play without reducing the skill gap too much and the skill involved in the class. So give it a try if you haven't and see how you'll enjoy it going into the war within. That's it from me. Bye.